Alright, what's going on guys? In this video I'm going to be showing you what I consider the biggest secret of this plane, but it only works in ground realistic game mode, it won't work in anything else. It'll also work for any other variants of this plane, so if you have the British one or one of the other American ones, it'll work for that, as long as it has the VTOL system, but we'll get more into that later. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So you can pick any weapons loadout you want, it'll work either way. I'm personally going to be picking something that can target both air and ground. These little things on the side that you can see moving, that's what the VTOL system is, the vertical takeoff and landing. It allows the plane to basically take off vertically if it chooses to and land vertically, which gives it a few extra choices and can allow it to be more versatile in combat. So whether you want to ground pound or go after their air and flank and spank, such as this, in the end, after you've used all of your armaments, your bombs, your missiles, whatever your plane has, you have to fly all the way back to the airfield in order to resupply, rearm, and prepare to go in again. Now that's a long flight, and the landing takes a long time. While you also have to slowly take off again, which to get to max speed from that is probably a solid 20 seconds, or in that range. Now for the Harrier it's going to be way faster than that, just because the VTOL system lets it take off significantly faster. But there's still much to be desired in this process, and with the Harrier, you're actually going to get the choice here. So you're probably wondering what it is this secret is and what this video is about. Now you've waited long enough, so I figure I will give you a demonstration here. Ignore the damage, and I would honestly probably not attempt to land the way that I'm about to, as especially with the damage my plane has, this is much riskier than it should have been. The plane almost pulled down and crashed. Now, as you can probably tell from my positioning, what I'm about to try and do is land at the helipad to resupply and rearm. It almost didn't work out, but we managed, and as you can see in the bottom left corner, it works the same way as the airfield. After you see this, I'm gonna go over the pros and the cons of using this strategy, which there's surprisingly not that many cons to this, just one honestly, but it's a really big one. But the pros are incredible, including this. That's right, you respawn at, like, you don't even have to take off. You're just above the helipad you've landed at with around 800 speed, which is just 300 or 400 under the max speed. Now, I probably wouldn't imitate what I'm doing here and die like that, but this allows you to land and go in much faster than you'd normally be able to. If you're still watching, that means you're probably interested in the pros and the cons of this. As I mentioned earlier, there's only really one con, which is that, as you might have noticed, the helipad's anti-air is complete and utter garbage. So if you go in and you see another plane and it's going to be coming after you, you probably want to just fly the longer distance and land safely at the airfield, because if you land at the helipad, you are going to have nothing to protect you. While that's the only real con that I can see from this, it means that you're going to have to know when to use this strategy, so use it at discretion. But for the pros, this is so much closer than going all the way back to the airfield. The takeoff time is much reduced, and you are just instantly spawned in the air at almost your max speed. or a very high standard speed to just get slingshotted back into the fight, and you can repeat it. So generally this is going to be like 2 to 3 times as fast as just flying back to the airfield, which makes this very effective for grinding RP, Silver Lions, and it could easily turn the course of a fight and ground realistic. The only other thing to say is if you think this video helped you out in any way, then please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. If it, however, did not, and you already knew the majority of this information, then thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you next time.